Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's September 19th of 2021. It's almost 10:30 a.m. Yesterday I was having trouble with my audio. Having trouble with the audio. And I made several little clips. And made several little clips and spliced them together. The only problem is I've got two desktops set up here, and I had five clips here, and I didn't see that there was part 6 over here. And so if you watched the video, you didn't see what my conclusions were and what I had done. So, I'm going to say a couple things here, then I'm going to stop this video, and then I'll add part 6 to this, and you can hear my conclusions from yesterday about my audio problems. I'm running OBS right now, and I'm using the Elgato Wavelength microphone, and I've run a couple short tests here, recording tests to seems to be working okay. The only thing is the microphone LED on my control screen for OBS, it doesn't look like it's responding correctly. So, but I've listened to the video and it appears okay. I wanted to say that I made a video last week about the protest that the friends and supporters of the insurrectionists and rioters who attacked the Capitol building of the United States of America. I predicted, like last week, that the event that they were going to have on Saturday in Washington, D.C., I didn't think would be violent, and I didn't think very many people would show up. I thought the only violence might be people going to the event might, get into fights or something if they were on an airplane and the stewardess or something said you have to wear a mask, or if I thought there might be a few things like that happening. Anyway, the protest of these people who are supporters of the 500 or so that have been charged and arrested and whatever. The supporters, there were really no problems apparently, at least not that I've heard of on the news, and there were very few of them there. There were more Capitol Police officers there than there were protesters coming. There were probably more news reporters there than there were protesters. I'd imagine, though, that there was a lot of Capitol Police, and they put up the fencing around the Capitol building, and the District of Columbia National Guard was on standby. But I mean, after the Capitol building of the United States being attacked and everything, and I mean, in the future, I saw a couple of little newscasts or whatever, and somebody's a politician or something, and I don't think he was a Republican politician, said that they overdid the thing with the fencing around the Capitol building. I don't think when you have at that time the President of the United States calling upon people to kill his vice president in the Capitol building, or disable his vice president, or cause such destruction in the Capitol building in the legislative branch of the United States as to give him the opportunity to declare, well, this is a national emergency, and therefore the election, which had already taken place, and he was going to be the outgoing, is going to be suspended. We have to do that because of the, that apparently was his. Well, I don't think he was mentally stable enough to just to have any idea of what he was doing. But my guess is too that those people who went to that event Saturday, which, like I said, was very small number of people. I actually haven't heard a number. I saw a little bit of video from a couple of news places. It looked like maybe there was 2,000 people, but maybe that was taken towards the end of the thing, so maybe there was 4,000 people there. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I would guess that the security, U.S. security forces, the FBI and Capitol Police and all that type of stuff, were probably using everything that they had, drones in the sky, that there were, I'm not sure if it'd be National Security Agency would do that, type of monitoring or whatever, but I would guess like that those people who went, let's say 2,000 people went, and they it appeared to be a peaceful protest. Nothing like what happened on the 6th, I would imagine, though, that some of those people were probably arrested that we didn't, that were there, and some of them are probably going to be arrested. I would imagine that there was scans of cell phones and all types of, and some of those people may have been there for the attack on and were using, the same cell phone, and data and stuff was, picked up then of where people were, and some of those same cell phones may have, the data thing may popped up on whoever does the monitoring. It might not be the National Security Agency. It might just be National Security Agency might be doing all the monitoring and stuff of, international threats and that type of stuff. But I would just imagine that probably some people went there to protest and did protest peacefully. But I think probably that the FBI and Capitol Police picked up some additional data and put 2 and 2 together. Oh, okay, this cell phone signal was here, and this was in with this group of people who did such and such. So there maybe some of those people who went there are going to be getting a visit from the police and be added to the list. But I'm glad that it was, peaceful. It appeared to be. I see that the FBI, I believe it is, or the Capitol Police, put out video and all types of information about the person who, on the when the insurrection took place, the night before, I think it was, somebody went all around the District of Columbia, or I guess the capital area, and was putting pipe bombs different places. I don't think any of them went off. And they haven't caught that person yet, and I think they're offering an award, a reward. I forget how much. I thought at the, this was the night before the protest, and these protesters and people were coming in, and this person walked all around with a bag and a hoodie on, and placed, a pipe bomb at the Republican National Party headquarters, the Democratic National headquarters, and just different places. And I can't understand why the night before, it seems like that person should have been pretty easy to spot, even though there was a lot of people there. Should have been pretty, it seems like, all those places had their own security, or maybe it was a Capitol Police also doing the security for that area, but I don't know how that works. Although I did go there on a little 2 weeks vacation back a few years ago, but that doesn't make me an expert on the District of Columbia or their security or anything else. But I worked hospital security for 30 years. I worked at a number of different hospitals, and during that time I also, for quite a few years, worked part-time contract security at a whole bunch of different places. A AM, FM, TV station, building that made cat litter. It was just when you're working contract security, you just work. It's just amazing, they tell you to go someplace and you show up, and the person who's supposed to tell you what to do because they've worked there, that person will say, well, no, this is my first night that I worked here and I don't know anything. But when I worked those kind of places, you have something you need to do, maybe going around hitting these time clocks where you have to hit it at a certain time and it registers and that type of stuff, or maybe all kinds of different things. But I'd go out in the parking lot and walk around, and I wasn't required to do that, and they weren't expecting me to do that, and probably when these people saw, why did he do that? But I would write down maybe every license number. Now, I couldn't do that when I worked at the shopping center, or whatever, but I'd write down every, like when I worked hotel or motel security, believe me, I was sent everywhere. I'd just go out, maybe, I didn't do it for every place every night or whatever, but I'd just go out and write down every license number of every vehicle that was in I did stuff like that. So I can't believe, in Washington, D.C., and you have security at these places, why somebody, the Capitol Police the next day, they had their hands full. But the night before, and you have, I don't know, the Lincoln Memorial or wherever these places were that this guy, I don't know if it's a guy or not, but put these pipe bombs. Why wasn't somebody watching of course, I'm sure they had closed circuit TV cameras, and I don't know. Anyway, I shouldn't judge or, whatever. I wasn't there, and I don't know, how the things work. And anyway, what's coming up now is, yesterday I was having, and I hope I'm not having now, audio problems. So I tried 5 or 6 things and made a video for each, and I actually made a 6th video, and I forgot to add the 6th video, so you're going to see that video, which will explain yesterday what I had ended up doing, or what I was going to do. So that's what's coming up. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, this is going to be part 6. I'll add this to the rest of these videos, so you'll have 6 parts to watch. I don't think I'm going to get the uh, what was it, audio, whatever, because I disconnected this. Let me go switch cameras here. So I disconnected the Sound Blaster that I have been using, and I'm not sure if something happened to it, you know. I mean, it's very possible that here in a few days I may hook it back up and like magic it'll work. Because who understands all of this computer stuff? Nobody does. My Beeline, I should have, when I got this thing, whatever it was, the computer, I should have sent it back because the audio was and still is broke on the thing. Now I'm recording with USB mic, so that's fine. And there is a 3.5 audio jack on this computer. If I plug in my speakers to that, they're static on it, but it's not recording because I'm using a USB. So right now I'm using this Yeti, and I think probably what I can do is switch back now to the Elgato Wave 3, but I'll upload this and see. Man, I spent a bunch of time, just messing with this, and what it started everything was when I moved some cables. I ran a UPS power supply thing, which I've had for quite a while, and I think the battery's probably low on it and everything, but it still does filtering or whatever. So it was, over there, but I ran it over here, and then there was a extension unit down there that has USB also, on it, and a bunch of jacks, and I ran that cable over here, and then the thing that was over here I've run across over here, so I can set up a thing to charge my cell phone, and a device that I can plug different things into to charge them up, and I don't know what all. I think the lamp's going to work okay in that position. So I guess my next project is, I think this Yeti sounds really good when you get right up there and like you were going to give a girl a kiss or something. Or maybe you'd have to be closer for that. I don't know. So I just think I'll be better off with the Elgato microphone. Well, we haven't had there's no way it's going to, there's no audio, nothing's popping up, your audio thing is not working or not found or something like that, because this is where it is. It's a nice little device, but I paid $100 for it, and I just should have sent back. And the only reason I got it was to take care of the thing. I just should have sent the Beeline unit back. I know if you watched my videos a while back, I said that I thought that the Windows 11 software maybe had fixed it or something. I was mistaken. No, that problem is still there. And Well, since you're here, let's go over here and see what's going on CNN. Also, why I did it, I don't know. I hooked up when I just disconnected this thing. I hooked up my DOS keyboard, which I like, but is not lit. I like it because it has, one cable that comes out of it, a 3.0 cable, and you plug that into your computer, and then there are two 3.0 available to you on the device here. A lot of, like one of my keyboards, you have to come out with two cables, one to plug in and one for 3.5, I believe, and then it gives you a 3.5. Well, so this is nice, but right now, if I have that light on over there, I can see my keyboard. Like I mentioned before, I'm a touch typist. I didn't want to learn typing, but because I was stupid in high school, the group that I was with, we had 4 homeroom classes, and 2 of those had the smart kids in it, and then we had 2 of the dumb people, and I was in the dumb people class. Not because I was dumb. Actually, why I went to high school, I don't know. Well, I went to high school because I wanted to get in the military, which I couldn't get into when I got out of high school, I found out. But I really didn't learn anything in high school because I didn't study anything in high school. I was in the Ground Observer Corps, Civil Defense, all type of, and then I was ordering in books from the government printing office and reading those and not studying at school at all. And I paid for it. I mean, when my parents paid for it, I had to go to summer school 4 years in a row. And I didn't learn anything in summer school. Luckily, the brother that in summer school that taught algebra, and that's what I had to, well, I flunked religion, I flunked typing, I flunked everything. But luckily for algebra, when I had to take that in summer school, for the entire summer, all we did was like find the missing, like you have this formula and then what's the missing number or something like that. I enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. That was like like solving a crime scene or something. So I enjoyed doing that. If I had, my son is 45. Yesterday was his birthday. Yeah. That's my youngest. My oldest daughter is really smart. I can say that because none of my kids got, they didn't get any IQ points from me. My oldest daughter actually graduated from high school, and then she went on to get a degree. Let's see, my next daughter, I don't believe graduated from high school, but she makes more money than all the rest of my kids put together. She is just smart and street smart and clever and a hard worker. She'll do whatever it takes to to be successful or whatever. And then my next son is also very smart, except he has not got. Now he finally says he's going to get it, but he hasn't taken the virus shot yet. That's funny how some people can be very smart and very dumb. Um, anyway, he's done a bunch of different jobs, or 911 call taker, and immediately, as soon as he got hired in, you have to go through some extensive training, of course. And he right away wow, I guess he scored high, and then right away he was, and then he quit. And when you quit them, a major police department, and you quit that type of a job where they put a whole bunch of time into your training, and they're glad they got you, and they're planning on you. And he quit, and their policy was, when you quit, don't let the door hit you in the ass when you leave. And he left, and then he decided he wanted to go back, and they took him back, and then he went and quit again. And let's see, then he went to another city and became a 911 call taker there. Got hired in easily. And then he wanted to be an air traffic controller. And he asked me to go down to Florida with him. And so I did. And then he got his degree, which is not easy. In fact, they won't even let you, well, I don't know how things are out now, things have changed, but there was a very limited number of places that you could get, and they wouldn't let you in unless they thought they weren't going to waste a space on you. He got into that, and then became an air traffic controller, sort of. I don't know why I'm getting into all this. As soon as his class graduated, they needed air traffic controllers like crazy. They had, ever since Reagan fired just about all the air traffic control, just about, in order to destroy their union. And then the air traffic controllers, those that, didn't get fired, were the age where they had to retire. Mandatory retirement, I forget what the age was, 50 or 55 or something, because of the stress. And everybody, agencies and everybody was telling, President Bush that, let's see, that he needed to hire a whole bunch of air traffic controllers because it takes time to train them, a long time to train them. And they had air traffic controllers were, leaving, either dying or, leaving because they were mandatory, And, but Bush refused to hire anybody in, and it was really extremely dangerous for people flying, with air traffic controllers being, overworked, having to work overtime, and just all kinds of problems Bush did not, he didn't want to do anything, so it was like, okay, you can't belong to the union. I guess he probably couldn't say it because of legal reasons, but he just did. So my son graduated and sent in his application or whatever. And then, but Bush wasn't hiring. And then Bush said, came up with some type of a plan that he said, okay, all new air traffic controllers, up until that time, I forget where they went, someplace. I mean, you'd think they go to like air traffic controllers would be for their training would be going to, I don't know, Washington D.C., New York City, No, they went to some, I don't know, place in Arkansas or some place where there went, went to some type of, and you had to, rent motel rooms and stuff like that. But up until this point, with Bush, up until that point, when you were hired and you went to this training, the first part of the training that you had to go to, when you went there, as soon as you were hired, you were paid, air traffic control pay, which was good money. And also, when you went there, the motel rooms and all that kind of stuff, hotel or whatever it was, they didn't have much there, but whatever they had there, the air traffic control or the government paid for that. And then they gave you a stipend. They gave you money every day. I don't know, I can't remember how much, for you to buy food and anything else that you needed. But Bush said, and I guess the thing is the union had, gotten all these things in the past. And Bush said, no, you'll go there and you'll be making I think it was like the minimum wage, just about. And you have to pay for your own hotel room, whatever, and we're not giving you any money for food, and just the whole thing. And so after my son spending all this money and getting him a degree in whatever the degree is called, air traffic control, he said, I'm not doing that. But anyway, he got hired in by the government. They, working in control towers. He got hired in, working in the control tower, and they did the weather stuff for the pilots, gave them the weather reports and information, and then pilots also that were flying would put their flight plan. They could do it by computer, or on the phone, that type, whole bunch of stuff like that. And so he was making good money there, and then he decided he wanted to go on to get, I think, a degree in accounting. I think it was, what was it? I can't remember. He already had several degrees. And then he went on to get a degree. He just finished up getting his degree in accounting, and he's working for a big accounting firm. And then my son, when he got up, let's see, okay, he didn't graduate from high school, but he just went and did the, whatever you call it, that you take. He just went in, and whoever did, gave him a test or whatever, said, okay, you don't need to come here and take classes or whatever. You can just take the test, GED test, and you'll pass. And so he did. And then he signed up for one of those courses in computers and data processing or something like that. and he graduated from that. But with, he and I did. He took out 2 loans, and then I took out 2 in my name, and then he graduated that. How did I get on this subject? Anyway, we haven't had the crash, so okay, I'm going to upload this, and then I'll see what it sounds like, and I think I'm going to go back to the other microphone. So I wish I'd have sent this. Well, I'm getting by with my workaround still works even with this thing. And I don't think this is broke. I don't think there's that much to be broke in it. It's just something to do. I don't know. I didn't. I was careful about hooking the same. But I'm going to just forget about this for now. I did that before and came back to it for some reason. So anyway, thank you very much for watching.